Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another exciting presentation on marketing. Let's start with a little theme song. I'm marketing and I know it. Do 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 do. I'm marketing and I know it. Do 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 do. Wiggle 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 wiggle. Yeah, that's all I got. Ladies and gentlemen, some of you have asked me for a little theme song. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move along. Today we're going to take a look at marketing and the marketing mix. This is going to lay the foundation for the rest of the course. So we're going to take a look at what is the marketing mix, and we're going to break that down into the 4 P's and the 2 C's. From there, we're going to take a look at an example of a marketing mix, which is Apple. Many of you are familiar with this company. I figure what better way to show you a company's marketing mix. So what is a marketing mix? Very simply, a marketing mix is basically a company's whole marketing strategy or whole marketing effort, we'll say, is broken down into 4 P's and 2 C's. The 4 P's are composed of price, place, product, and promotion. And these 4 P's are controlled by the company itself. These are internal factors. They can control the price of their products. They can control where they're sold, so the place. They can control the products themselves and what they offer. And then they can control the promotional efforts. So these internal factors are called the 4 P's. And these 4 P's lay the foundation for a company's marketing efforts. External factors are called the 2 C's. And these are composed of the consumer and competition. You can't control necessarily consumer reaction, but you can target specific consumers. And we'll get to that. Competition is another external factor that you cannot control. No matter how much you would like to control competition, competition acts in its own best interests. And again, therefore, you cannot control this. So the marketing mix is divided into these 4 categories, the 4 P's, and then the 2 C's. Let's take a look at the 4 P's. The 4 P's, again, are composed of product, price, place, and promotion. For product, this refers to the tangible physical products. We looked at this with goods versus services. Product can also refer to service. And so what we often use is product to explain either products or goods and or services. We use those interchangeably. And so instead of differentiating between goods and services, we just use product. Product is composed of all sorts of things. And one of the things that companies need to do is decide what's the brand name of the product going to be, how is it going to function, what's it going to look like. So the styling, the quality of the product, safety of the product, the packaging, the warranty, accessories, and support. For promotion, this refers to all aspects of the marketing communication. So when we take a look at advertising, that's part of promotion. Press releases, that's part of promotion. And sales promotions when you walk into stores, that's all part of promotions. So these various aspects of the product has the goal of generating a positive consumer response. As part of promotion, your goal is to get people into your stores and purchase your products. So decisions that you have to make is the promotional strategy, advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, and public relations and publicity. Price refers to the sale price or the retail price of your product. How much are you going to sell the product to your consumer? And so the suggested retail price is what you know as a consumer. You walk into a store and you see a chocolate bar for 99 cents. That's the suggested retail price. That 99 cents is also a pricing strategy, right? 99 cents seems a lot less than a whole dollar. I know that sounds weird, but there's psychological aspects to it. Volume discounts or wholesale prices are also part of pricing. Seasonal pricing, so when products are out of season, you'll often see their prices come down. Bundling, so grouping products together, as in the case of Rogers and Bell and many telecommunications companies. Price flexibility, and you'll see this with hydro prices going up and down at certain times of the day. And price discrimination, right? Choosing a price that targets your consumer more effectively. And then lastly, with the 4 P's, we have place. And this is all about where the product will be sold. This is distribution. We use place, well, because it's another P and we want to keep it simple with the 4 P's. But getting the product to the consumer is all about place, and so therefore we need to decide distribution channels, market coverage, so how extensive we're going to sell it, specific channel members, who's going to be responsible along the way, inventory management, warehousing, distribution centers, transportation, planes, trains, automobiles, that kind of thing, reverse logistics, which is a whole other concept in itself, really trying to make distribution seem a lot more complicated than it is, and then order processing. So those are the 4 P's, and these 4 P's are the internal factors that a company can control. So what about the 2 C's? The 2 C's are consumer and competition. Consumer is really the target market for a company. Anybody can buy any product. That's not necessarily what we mean by consumer. I can go out and buy, I don't know, a dress, let's say. Little do you know I dress up in dresses. No, I don't, but I'm just saying. Anyone can go out and buy a product. That doesn't mean that that person is the target consumer of the company. For dresses, the target consumer would be females. For iPods, let's say, the target consumer would be young adults. Even though, I don't know, my grandmother will listen to an iPod, she may not be the target consumer of Apple, and we'll take a look at that. So target consumer are those people that the company will specifically target and hopefully sell their products to. They will put all their sales efforts and marketing efforts towards those specific consumers. And so you'll see promotional efforts reflect those consumers. So when you are considering your target consumer, you want to consider their age, their gender, their socioeconomic status, which is basically how much money they have, their preferences, their income, their culture, their religion, their nationality, their interests, their goals. All this refers to consumer. You can't control consumer reaction, but you can target your products towards certain consumers, and hopefully in response they'll purchase your products. Competition is another external factor. You cannot control your competition. They will respond to your efforts. So other companies who are competing to sell similar products are competition, are competitors. Some competitors are direct competitors, some are indirect, and we'll get to this in the competition part of this unit. But brief example, a direct competitor to Coca-Cola would be Pepsi. An indirect competitor to Coca-Cola might be seal test milk. Both are beverages, but one is a cola and one is, well, milk. Methods of competition is also you need to consider as far as how they're going to compete with you. Market share, so who controls the market, and the economic system you operate in. All this refers to competition. So going back to this slide, sorry for the previous mistake, all the 4 P's will work together to target customers, and therefore that target consumer is where in this Venn diagram all the product, price, place, and promotion overlap. Competition therefore exists on the outside of this diagram. They are surrounding the 4 P's, and they are looking to achieve sales and target those same customers. However, if you effectively make products, you effectively get them to the right place, you effectively promote them, and you effectively choose the right price, you will essentially effectively target your customer. So, let's take a look at this in action. The marketing mix of Apple. Many of you have recognized the logo you see there. This is the old Apple logo and, well, my favorite. So product. Apple has a ton of products, from computers to software to iPods and digital music players to actually apps and things on the iTunes store itself. Even though those apps may not be made by Apple, they do take a cut, and therefore they're part of their product selection. The price. Apple products range in prices, and from as low as $40 there with the iPod Shuffle, all the way up to $2,041 with the Mac Pro. Now these are listed in pounds, you'll notice. Unfortunately, that's the only visual I could find, but it's roughly the same as far as prices. And so these price ranges on these products will effectively target different consumers. A consumer who buys the iPod Shuffle might be a different target consumer than those who buy the Mac Pro. And the person who buys the iMac, again, might be different from the person who buys the Mac Pro. If you ever have walked into an Apple store, they will be very clear on this. If you are a certain type of consumer, there's no need in buying the Mac Pro, and they won't target you with that product. But if you are a consumer like myself, they target you to buy the iMac. Then you have the MacBook, MacBook Pro, MacBook Air. Again, those are all different products, different prices, and effectively target different consumers. Place. Apple is one of the unique technology providers around the world as far as having a retail store location. Many have tried this in the past and failed. Apple have tried this and have been extremely successful. The Mac store that you see in the bottom right is the one in New York. Per square foot, that is the most profitable retail store in the world. They make a lot of money with their retail stores. However, they don't rely just on their stores. They also rely on their web pages, and you can go to their Apple's web page and buy any of their products that you can buy at the store. And the last place is the iTunes store itself. The iTunes store offers all sorts of apps, TV shows, podcasts, music, movies, right? And all of this is available to the consumer itself. So they have a different kind of place strategy than many technology providers, but it's one that works for them. And by using this, again, they can target their consumer more effectively. Promotion. Promotions are one of the things that Apple has done very well. Their first promotion in 1984, I will show you this in the promotional video, in the promotional unit, is one of the most effective, or I should say, successful commercials of all time. Commercials that you probably recognize are the ones on the bottom right and the bottom left. The I'm a PC versus I'm a Mac is one that we've seen on TV all the time. The other one that they'll overlay with music or popular music and people or silhouettes dancing, and all you see is the white headphones. That's a signature commercial by Apple. Billboards is also a part of their promotional strategy, and they'll advertise their products on there. And then you'll see sales promotions that when you walk into the store, you'll be able to purchase certain items for cheaper prices because of maybe university, or you bought a certain amount of goods and you get a certain amount for free. Consumer. Apple's consumer or target consumer is really young adults. Males or females. Doesn't really matter. They might target males more than females. You might see that. But their target consumer is definitely young adults. Just because you buy products doesn't mean you're a target consumer. Again, it's who they are targeting with their 4 Ps. One of the things that you'll see more recently is that teachers are becoming part of their target consumer because of iPads and other devices. They're effectively going after the educational aspect of things. And competition. Apple's competition for a long while has been Microsoft. However, that has now branched out, because they're not just selling computers anymore. They're selling handheld devices, and so Samsung and Motorola, and even Amazon, right? You can read a book on your iPad, or you can buy an Amazon Kindle and read that. As well as their operating systems have competitors. Research in Motion I'd put on here, but unfortunately they're not doing so well. And so really the main competitor to Apple right now is Android. So this is the marketing mix. Hopefully you identified the 4 Ps and 2 Cs. Hopefully you've taken the notes, and hopefully you've implemented the storm viewing experience. So, signing off, Mr. Roche, do marketing, and I know it.